and welcome back to Sports Today as we preview what is set to be a very exciting Champions League semi-final between Real Madrid and Manchester City. Now, obviously, the tie is very evenly poised because City may have won the first leg 4-3, but a one goal difference really means nothing, especially in this era of the Champions League where there are absolutely no away goals. So, with that rule gone now, obviously, teams have, as we have noted before, been more attacking in the way that they approach the game. But due to that, that means more goals, and it means you need bigger leads. And that no lead, in fact, is insurmountable because, as we saw with Real Madrid's match against Chelsea, Chelsea very nearly got through despite trailing 3-1 in the first leg. And that is something that will give City plenty of hope, but it would also be cause for concern because, as we saw, Real Madrid are the type of side who can very easily be lethal and ruthless due to the simple fact that they don't need many chances to finish. If they make a few chances here or there, they will more often than not finish them. And that's very good news if you are a Real Madrid fan. Of course, if you're a City fan, you will be concerned, but also confident that this team should have enough firepower to go see past City and set up potentially an all-English final. Because if you followed the semi-final yesterday, it was Liverpool who ended up winning 3-2 on aggregate despite Villarreal giving them an almighty scare by taking a 2-0 lead and leveling the tie on aggregate. Another goal for the Yellow Submarine would have been very crucial, very important. But as things stood, Liverpool scored one and they won the tie on aggregate 3-2. Nevertheless, that takes nothing away whatsoever from the kind of performance that the Yellow Submarines put in. But Liverpool are through to the Champions League final, and well, it will be one of Manchester City or Real Madrid who will be facing them. Which team exactly? Well, we'll find out about that later on tonight because, as we know, today is the second leg of the second semi-final, and whoever wins this is through to the final, and it is going to be a mouth-watering clash either which way. But again, both teams can be considered favourites, but both teams do have a couple of concerns here or there when it comes to maybe injuries and players available. Now, obviously, Manchester City will be without John Stones, and there will be a call taken later on in the game as to whether or not Kyle Walker will be available. In other good news for them, however, John Stones will be available for. John Stones. Sorry, I'm saying João Cancelo will be available for selection in this particular match due to the fact that he has been past fit. So that is very good news because, as we know, the wing-back area has been a major problem for City in recent games. So it's very good news that they have Cancelo back. Real Madrid aren't without concerns of their own. They will not be available. They will not have David Alaba. And that is a big concern because the Austrian has been a key player in the center of defense. But if Real Madrid are to go through, they will have to do so without their talismanic Austrian. Let's take a couple of comments. Suyash is asking me for his prediction. Well, I would say that City are favourites, but I cannot possibly count out this Real Madrid side. Akshay Nair, in fact, says that Real Madrid will be out. I'm guessing that Akshay Nair, you're a City fan. If you want, let me know, and I will correct myself. But the only way you're predicting a City win that confidently is if you are indeed a City fan. Obviously, there's plenty to talk about. If you talk about this game, it's a case of Real Madrid, a team that's won 13 Champions Leagues, the most in the history of the tournament, versus Manchester City, a team that is, what you would call the new Rish or the Novo Rish, because they only came into money in 2008 once the takeover of the Abu Dhabi group was complete. And of course, in recent years, they have unsuccessfully tried and to actually win the Champions League is the only trophy left that they are yet to add in that sense, because they have been dominant in English football. But whether or not they can do it, well, that's a matter to be seen, because again, we did see City as favourites in the 2020-21 season, but Chelsea ended up beating them 1-0. And this time around, I think Liverpool would be facing City would be facing an even tougher contest, because this Liverpool team have looked very unstoppable. But it's the one trophy, that City will be desperate to win, because that's the only trophy they haven't won. It's also the trophy that Pep Guardiola was brought in to win, and it's a bit of a test for him too, if you look at it that way, because he's not won the Champions League since his time at Barcelona. He tried to. I'm so sorry. He tried to and failed to win it at Bayern Munich. Couldn't manage to do it over there. Whether or not he can do it here, he should, in theory. And well, it would be the crowning glory for him because City have put in place a very good setup. They have some top-notch players. In theory, they should be able to win this, and I would definitely see them as favourites. But I don't know what this is there with this Real Madrid side. They just don't know when to admit defeat. And that is a very dangerous trait. We've seen that with teams in the past. The teams who know how to take their chances when they play or when they're not playing well, that's often a hallmark of championship winning teams. I'm going to take a couple of questions. Suyash is asking where I am. Well, I'm in one other part of the office. I thought I'll join you guys from a slightly different location rather than always joining from the studio or that one particular area which is familiar with you. Akshay says I'm an FC Goa fan, Indian club. But Liverpool City will be interesting final. I have a soft spot for FC Goa because I quite like some of the football that they've played in recent years. So nice choice. So Yash, I'll answer any cricket related questions in our cricket related live, which should be coming your way in about half an hour's time. So don't worry, you will get to know everything that you had to about yesterday's match, and we'll of course talk Turkey about today's match and matches that come beyond. And if you've joined our lives, you know how it is that we go. So but I am also excited. I have to admit, I'm very, very excited over the fact that we will be seeing this match, Real Madrid versus City, because the first leg was bonkers, let's be honest. 7 goals in 90 minutes between two teams who had a very, very good attack. I mean, I'm not sure if we'll see a repeat of that, but oh man, if we can indeed see a repeat of that, I would be really happy. Suyash, I know which match you're referring to, but that was a cricket match, right? So I am not actually going to discuss that now. It's a football live. Akshanak says Real Madrid can be dangerous in the last 30 minutes if City chokes. Yeah, you know what? I agree with you because they have that tendency of just finding a goal out of nowhere. And that's the thing. It's going to be a case of City's controlled, dominant style versus, Real Madrid style that tends to favor chaos and oftentimes will lead. It's a little unconventional in my book, but it does get them results. So Kishore Creation says, what an exciting game yesterday night. Liverpool fans will be thankful to Rulli Howlers. He had a nightmare. You know what? I have to agree with you on that. But Liverpool over the 2 legs, I would say, were deserving. But that's the way football works. Big props to Villarreal because I think Unai Emery has silenced a lot of his own doubters with the kind of performances he got out of that side. Prashant Kuchdakar, I mean, if that prediction happens, you'll get a shout out on the live that I do later tonight because, I don't know if he'll score a hat trick. That City defense is shaky though. There's no two ways about that. Akshay says Pep every time overthinks in the UCL knockouts and makes wrong decisions. He has done that a bit in the past, so I do agree with that statement that sometimes he'll make one tactical switch too many and that ends up harming their team. Me personally, I hope he sticks to what works for them because they play that style of football very, very well. And it's always exciting to watch, produces plenty of chances, plenty of goals, and plenty of chances and plenty of goals could actually be the tagline for tonight's game. I know you guys are going to be excited about it. I'm very, very excited. I'll be going live after the match ends, so do join me for that. Thank you all so much for joining me here. If you enjoy the stuff that we do, like the video, comment, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and don't forget that if you enjoy sports coverage with a little bit of a fun twist, do not forget to subscribe to us and join Sports Today on a regular basis. I will see you guys very soon. Thank you. Bye-bye for now.